Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. We are starting in 40 seconds. So very good evening to all of you. All right, stand by. Starting in 15 seconds. Hello AAG, good evening to you again. Welcome to our very first supper talk in phase 1, right? Supper talk has been paused for a short while because we are rushing out goodies for you. We roll out our BCF 2020 Pro, and today we kickstart this morning and last night the Empower series. And today, Instant Pro version 6 has been released to some of the leaders, the facilitators. They are now testing it, and if they certify okay, then you guys are going to get it very, very soon. So definitely will be there for you, right? Hang on there. But one issue that many of you will be facing in this market is that customer may take a longer time to make a decision, right? Sometimes customer may be take more time for you to gel with them, and therefore you need lots and lots of follow-up, right? Property now is about putting a long line and then keep in touch with the customer. Is a marathon, is no longer a sprint, right? When market is hot, closing deal is a sprint. Market is not, then closing deal is a marathon, and you need to be able to follow up with your customer and then slowly coax them to become reach the decision that you need. So tonight we are very fortunate to have Priscilla Tong, right, who is here sharing with you. Priscilla has been closing project deals, and if you remember Luxus Hill, he's the one of the IC for Luxus Hill, and Luxus Hill sold out within the first couple of days. Even I also couldn't get a chance for, right? So today, help me welcome Priscilla. Priscilla, hello Priscilla, you're on screen.
Hi Lester. Hi everyone. Hi Lester.
Great, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for the 2 days training.
Yeah, so
wonderful.
Supper night again. So my supper is here. So I'm glad to have you tonight. Okay, so tell us more about yourself a little bit. Come.
Okay. For those that do not know me, I'm Priscilla. I joined Orange Tea in 2014. So the thing is that I was being known as a commercial industrial agent, and back then I also was teaching a lot of commercial industrial. And why do I come into this residential? I think everybody knows that residential is occupied the whole pie of the whole Singapore island, which is and I see a lot of those top agents back then. Top agents, a lot of them are from the residential side, be whether you are in HDB, private or landed. And I get a little bit, how could I not be up there? So that's the reason why in 2018, I started to get myself dive into this project sales, and I get to know a lot from there, which I think today is just like a very casual sharing session to share with you how I can manage to close my deal, how I do follow up, and how I manage to close my deal. It's pretty interesting. Probably we can have some sharing later on. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing because many of us start off making our mark in residential market, and then some of us move on to commercial market. But for Priscilla, it's the opposite. She actually made her mark in commercial market and industry. She's very strong in it. When I first know her, when she first joined AAG, she's very strong in commercial industry. And then because of the market change, and this is what I admire about her, she changed with the market. So when the market changed to residential being hot, she was able to react quite fast. And she not only can react fast, she can really emerge strong. She really closed a lot of deal in commercial, this residential, landed some more, became an IC. So I think her rise that I see her in the last 1 year was considered amazing. Switch market and yet still can emerge strong, right? That's why today we are quite fortunate to learn from her how she do her commercial, I mean her deal in a sense that how she follow up and all that, right? So today she will share with you. Are you ready with that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I will let you prepare your slide. Then we bring your slide on screen. Okay. So tonight's session is going to be how she follow up with a customer and how did she close, because you must learn the art of follow up. Because if you don't follow up well with the customer, you may lose them over time. So okay, Priscilla, I saw your slide already. I'm going to bring your slide up and over to you. Go, take it away.
Okay, so hi everybody once again. Today I'm going to share with you the how to master the art presentation and follow up on selling any projects. I mean, it's even your resale. As long as we are in this sales environment. So when we are talking about sales environment, we are talking about more on people and people relationship. So for this, a lot of times it's on the follow up. Then you can become a deal, right? So I will go straight to jump into the point. Okay, just now Lester already told you that I'm also one of the IC. So this is nothing much important. But if you look at this whole picture down here, I always like to enjoy myself, because the thing is that after a hard day work, after we close so many deals, I think we need to really pamper ourselves. And most importantly, besides that having a very casual lifestyle that we want to have, I think what we have to have is we must have dreams. Very importantly, as a salesperson, why do we must have dreams? Because you see, I feel that dreams is the thing that can actually push you to where you want to go. And be whether it's a big dreams or a small dreams, even as a small dreams that you want to go to, you want to bring your children to Japan, Disneyland, or whatever. Even right now, we cannot travel. But this is also a dream that can help us to plan what do we want to do, because if bring a family for a holiday, at least it gets you have to spend about a few thousand to about 5 figures kind of thing. So how do you get your sales? So this is the dreams that you must have to push you to work harder to get deals to come in. Yeah. And like I mentioned earlier on, I think since the last quarter of 2018, when I decided to go into project sales, residential sector, I actually pushed myself out of this comfort zone. Not only just taking one project itself, but at that moment of time, I remember the first project I took on was Trevor, Garden Residences, then come Trevor, then come Woodley, and come Cambridge and Park Esta. So at that moment of time, I can even have 5 projects on hand to toggle around, to run about. And if you look at here, this is only the 12 projects that I have involved on. I'm still in it. But what do I want to talk about this whole project down here? It's about the numbers. The thing is, be whether you are a project agent, whether you are a tagger core team, or even you are non-core team, it is always good for us to, in fact, to really go and study every individual of the project, because it is very simple. You see, if let's say District 15, by District 15, you know that how many projects are there. District 19, how many projects are there? And how do you cross-sell your District 15 to District 19? So you have attended a lot of those training recently by Orange Tea or even AAG people. You can in fact go into it, and as long as you hit the numbers, in fact you can close deal very easily, because when you know about this project, well, you start to talk to people. The more people you talk, the chances of closing a deal is much more faster and easier. And now let's talk about our relationship with our client. It's really like how do you fly a kite? It's really like flying a kite. You know, when you are flying a kite, there's this thread that you release your kite up to the sky. So when you release the kite up to the sky, you have to pull it back so that they won't go so far away from you, so distant away. But if you were to pull the string too tight, what will happen to the kite? it will definitely burst. And when it bursts, what happened? Your kite will flew off, which means when your kite flew off, you will lose your customer. So for me, when we start to build a relationship with our client or our co-broker, which is like NCT, ECB, or even a working customer, you have to actually plan when you just first to get to know them. You have to actually plan how do you want to expand or prolong this relationship, which is like letting go a little bit and then put it back again. And if let's say you are a project agent or you want to share with them more on projects, do you have to every day bombard them with the messages like, oh, this is today is Park Esta, tomorrow is Trevor, then the next day is Garden? I guess this should not be the way, because imagine, let's say for example, you are a buyer. If I every day I also send you the message, send about project, do you think you will like me? I think maybe soon after that you will want to block me away from there. Hang on a minute. Okay, so now we talk about read them like reading a storybook. You see, when you are reading a storybook, there's a lot of interesting things you can read from the message. And for customer, it's the same thing. When you are talking to your customer, be whether you are facing them face to face or whether you are reading the message, you may want to be put in more attention to read in their message what they want to tell you. Even let's say, for example, there's a question mark or there's an exclamation mark. It does show some emotion on this, that what they want to share with you. So for this little bit of this kind of emotion thinking, you may want to capture, and from there you will want to tell them, say, hey, when is the right time that you start to tell them about like a star buy? These are the things that we may want to look into it. And observe and look out for a sign. When I talk about observe and look out for a sign, this one happens to any time when we want to do our sales. Let's say, for example, if you were to bring them to the show flat, even though right now we can't, but moving forward, when the government release us to go back to the show flat to bring them, because at this moment in time, I still have buyers, no matter how much I do my Zoom meeting with them, they still want to go to the show flat. So when they go to the show flat, it's very important for us as an agent. We really have to observe and look out for the buying signal. And when is the right time to say the right thing? And when is the right time to press the hot button to close the deal? So this part of it, it is always very important, because I realize a lot of time, some agents, they just miss this part, that they couldn't catch the buying signal and the deal just gone. So now I will share with you my follow-up of some of my cases that I closed. I will talk a lot about these cases that I closed, because I find this case is very interesting. This buyer, I get to know her from Trevor when I was doing my duty that day, which is I took 4 months to close them now, which is 2018. I got to know them in 2018 and 2018. So they came into Trevor around 4 plus. So as usual, I don't know them, they don't know me, and I conduct my presentation. And they came in around 4 plus. Then after that, they left around 6 plus. I didn't manage to close back then. This is my first encounter with them. So what happened next? I have cut and paste some of my messages with them. So I do not know whether can you see clearly or not, but let me just narrate a little bit. Yeah. So on the day itself, they came on the 24th November 2018. So by then, when they get back home and I get back home, I send her a text to greet her again around 7 plus, and we start to talk a little bit there about this project itself. Because remember, what they have is a hard copy of this brochure. But I always feel that hard copy of brochure, sometimes client may not even want to go and flip and see. And why is it so? Because handphone is always on their hand. So I always like to send them e-brochure through WhatsApp orders. So I started to talk a little bit about project. And on the next day, she and during this period of time, I remember that she told me that she will be traveling very soon. So that's why on the next day I asked her, say, are you still in Singapore? And from there we start to talk a little bit. And very interestingly, she asked me to reserve 2 units that I proposed to her. But to me, it's like, how can I reserve a unit with you for you when you don't even give me a check? So from there, I asked her to say, hey, can you just give me some of the possible to pass me a check, whatever thing. But this thing doesn't go through. And few days later, okay, for me, sometimes when I send messages, like I said, I don't really like to keep bombard them. I don't really like to keep talking about projects and projects, nothing else but projects. Because my objective is to meet this new people that I knew, new customer, the walking customer, to trust me, to start to trust me and love me, so-called love me, that we can talk better. That means to block to cut off the so-called to have a bondages with them. So on the few days later, what I do is that I started to ask her a question. I just wanted to ask you, do you play golf? She said yes. Why? Okay, the reason why I can answer this question is because remember I told you that she came in. When she came in that time, first thing I observed her dressing and her husband dressing. Both of them are in sportswear, but she really in sportswear like what I'm wearing right now with a cap, yeah, and a t-shirt and a sports pants. And when I look at her t-shirt and her cap, I observe her t-shirt is Callaway. So when we talk about this brand of Callaway, it is a golf brand. And I look at her skin tone, she's pretty tan skin tone. So I kind of think she could be a very sports person. So, but then of course during presentation, I don't ask her all this thing. I don't chit chat. I just focus on the presentation. So on this day, when 28, right, I decided to, instead of keep talking about property, I asked her this question, hey, do you play golf? She said, yeah, why? Oh, then I started to chat a little bit about golf orders. Then interestingly, I didn't talk about property, but she herself texted me, say that, and then she asked me the unit, the stat that I proposed to her before, has it been taken out, fully sold? So she is the one who started to talk to me about property again and say, hey, that's what I want you, because I want you to ask me about property first. And I started to present myself about property again. Yeah. Then after that, you can see that earlier on is 28th of November. Of course, there are in this period of time, every 2 days, I would text her, like give her a text whatsoever thing, because we always travel. So on the 2nd of January, 2nd of December, because I can sense that she don't really send me the interest that she fall in love, she like travel. So I decided to try garden residences. Then I sent her this picture to tell her that this picture, to ask her, say, hey, do you like to have a house, like a living environment with a unblocked view of landed view, all this? Then I sent her the 2 pictures down here. But of course, I hide garden. I hide garden, this garden residences, this project name. Then after that, she tell me, say, oh, why not? Then I started to talk to her about garden from here on. And I put travel aside. I don't want to talk travel anymore. And then after that, because it's December time, she started to go traveling. She likes to go travel. And of course, in between, I would text her and say, hey, so are you in Singapore? Or are you in overseas? Then she will tell me, say, oh, I'm in overseas. Then I say, oh, that's nice. Then why don't, hey, can you send me some picture? I've not been there. Then she started to send me pictures. So we talk like a friend. But of course, at the back of my mind, I still want to close you because you are still my customer. So on the 20 in December, I think 28 in December, I sent her a message instead of directly going straight to ask her, hey, so have you done your IPA already or not? Instead of that, I sent her this about this ban issue thingy, ban loan, all this finance thingy. Then after that, from there, I started to ask her, say, hey, have you done all your IPA, whatever thing? Again, if you were to see how my conversation with my customer, I don't go straightforward. I always take one thing and then bring in my property again. I talk one topic and bring in my property again. That's what I always do. Then Then after that, again, we talk, then nothing confirmed, nothing confirmed. Then in January, about 1 month later, I sent her star by because by then January there's star by, and I find that it's high time for me to close her already because November, December, January, spent 3 months already. I'm kind of a little bit impatient already. So I sent her some star by thingy, and we start to talk about this again. And I think she came here once. I cannot remember, but I know that she came here once. Then again, she came here once, but after that, finally she came now. Finally, she came. I think somewhere. She came. I think somewhere around here. These are the messages I started to send her a lot of messages on property, on garden, all this. And I think on one day over here during this period of time, she came to garden and she see, but she did not commit again. But we narrowed down some units. So you can see that these are some of the gaps that I send. I don't always back to back, but certain times I do. Then again, then this is some of the follow-up tests. And here again, I come back again because she hasn't confirmed anything. So here again, then one day I was practicing my range, my golf range at the golf range. I decided to send her because I said, what cannot be that? I still cannot close her, cannot. So I decided to take this picture and I sent her this picture. Say, hey, hi again, whatever. Then I tell her, say, practicing. Then after that, we talk about golf again. Then here again, I bring her back to property again. So now you can see this is how my movement of my conversation with them. I talk about hobby, I bring back property. I talk about other things, I bring back property again. So here I talk about property again, about garden. Then I asked her about, hey, how do you think about it, the one that proposed to you? Then he told me that the husband don't like low floor. Then I said, since you don't like low floor, then we should go and look for the higher floor. So again, I continue to do my other presentation after a few days later. So finally, in March, on this day, on the 3rd of March, she sent me a text. She sent me a text around 12, and she asked me, say, am I in garden? So back then I was attending church service. So I told her, say, no, but I will be going up because in actual fact, that day I don't have duty. I'm not supposed to go in. But then, of course, you ask me, are you in garden? Definitely, there's a big chance already. Then I said, oh, yeah, I'm going in later on. So, and before she tell me what time, I asked her the question. I say, so are we going to meet at 4 o'clock? Why do I ask her this question? Because I always remember, that's why, like I say, as a salesperson, we have to be very sensitive to observe. That's why just now, my first few slides, observe and look out. Because I remember every time she come to the show flat to, so I immediately asked her, say, so are we meeting around 4 or 4:30? So she told me 4:30. So again, 4:30 she came. So this time she came, she seated down on the table. Then I didn't do any presentation because remember she came to garden before already. So we seated down on the chair. Then after that she said, hey Priscilla, I wanted to ask you something. I said, oh yes, why? I said, how do you feel about this project? Let's say project A. I don't want to mention the other project. So I said, okay. So she said, I want to hear your point of view. So for me, I'm not the kind of person say immediately I'll say, oh, this project is just because you want to hear my point of view, then I will tell you straight my point of view. So what I do is that I threw her back the question. Okay, sure. I said, I will tell you my point of view, but before I tell you my point of view, could you want to share with me, what do you think about this project? I believe if you ask me, it doesn't mean that you have seen the project. Then she said, yeah, I went to see. So I just want to ask you about your point of view. I say, okay. So I say, see now, at the back of my mind, I say, oh my God, she has seen the project. Then I got a competition down here. So anyway, so I asked her, I didn't tell her that I didn't tell her my point of view. I didn't want to speak up first. Then I asked her, say that, why don't you tell me your point of view about this whole project? Then she tell me about her point of view about this whole project. I said, okay, fine. I said, okay, so in this way, let me just share with you my point of view. But you see, because when I get to know her, remember I get to know her was at Trevor. And I ever asked her, say, why don't you like Trevor? Why you want to let go of Trevor? She did tell me some reason why she don't like Trevor. And I remember that. So after that, when she tell me about this project A, and I and her reluctance of committing the project A, I sense the similarity of why she don't like travel. So I capture this, right, and I put on a piece of paper. I put down that travel and project A lah. So I put it down whatever she says. Okay. So I say, so you see, can you see any similarity between why you don't like travel and what about this project A? So she down there, she keep quiet for a while, and then she started to smile. So when she started to smile, I know that I'm at the upper hand already, because I managed to catch why you don't like travel is because uh, of this thing, because of the street name lah. I mean, this is the very strong point, the street name. So that is the reason why probably she come and ask me why she don't like this project A lah. So after I say, so now I'm going to compare this project A right now with garden. So from that I do a comparison one by one. I talk about the whatever, talk about the street name, talk about this and that, and talk about the lifestyle that you always wanted to have, because she likes to travel. So when she likes to travel, she is a person who enjoy lifestyle. So when I present my garden to her, I talk about the lifestyle of having dining, wine in Chong Chong area, in Serangoon Garden area, and it's landed property area and crave. It is just like another Holland village. So this is the lifestyle that she wants. So I keep pang all this to tell her, this is the lifestyle you want, which is this project A cannot give it to you. And from there, I see her smile, and then after that she never talk about project A anymore. Then I really focus her, bring her back to garden already lah. Then from there we talk. Then she started to talk about garden. She started to talk about garden as in she bring me some very I think it's very unnecessary objections. Then she said that if I just don't like garden because of the bathroom. I don't like the bathroom because okay, before I continue, is that her financial all done already. Financial calculations are all done already. I don't like the bathroom because the tiles, I don't like it. So after that, I asked her, I said, do you want to, because of you don't, and I really literally asked her this way. I think I don't know, some of you may have attended my body language course, the sharing session, right? I also use body language a lot. So I say, then I already literally thought, I say, do you really, because of you don't like the house and you forgo the lifestyle that you like? It cannot be, ma, because you like the size of this house and you like the lifestyle, but because of how you forgo this, I don't think so. It's good, right? So after that, then she started to think, and at the end of the day, cut it short lah. At the end of the day, what I got is a done deal, and I managed to close her on the day, and I used 3 hours to close her, from 4:30 to 7:30 when she walked out of this Showflat garden. And before she walked out, what her husband told me is, the husband said something, because the husband is a very quiet person. Throughout my whole presentation, when I got to know this couple, the husband don't really talk. It's everything the wife, whatever the wife like, right? The husband will upright lah, because the money is actually from the husband's side, yeah. So the thing is that the husband said, Priscilla, you really have to thank my wife. I said, oh, why? Then I asked her why not. Definitely, I want to ask. I'm curious to know why. They said, because when we were at this project A, we almost want to commit to buy this project A. But before we commit, my wife suddenly tell me, say, I think I want to go and meet up with Priscilla. I want to talk to her. I want to ask her for some opinion about this whole project itself lah. So after that, then she came lah. That's why she texted me this text message came. Then after that, they say, and the best part of it is, she even tell that agent who served her that even if, let's say, I really come back to buy a unit from you, I will bring my agent here to work together with you. And the agent is me lah. So what I wanted to share with you is not to boast that. But of course, when the husband tell me this, I'm very, very happy. But what I wanted to share is not to boast about this thing, but I just want to share is that You see, from I don't know her from a stranger until now we become friends. After she closed key, we really become friends, and she even introduced her sister to me. All this. So can you see that the relationship that we have, 4 months relationship from a stranger to how we get to know each other until she really trusts me and believes in what I say. Of course, I never talk bad about the project A. I tell her everything about project A, but I using a emotion still of what she really like to close this deal. And this is like what I mentioned earlier on my slide, which is we are like flying a kite, you cannot hold too tight. You have to let go a little bit, then you got to pull back, and you let go a little bit and pull back, and finally you keep your kite. So this is how I complete this whole deal. And this deal, I got quite a handsome commission from that. Okay, so this story again, this is also garden. Garden I do close a few cases. So this garden is this one will be a very short one, because this what I want to share with you on this is, if you look at my sentence down here, buyer is from trivial aborted case, which means even the case aborted, you can still save, you can still salvage and save the case back again. So this couple, the husband is my insurance agent, my friend's my insurance agent, and after they aborted this case, they actually wanted to buy resale, they wanted to HDB, they wanted this and wanted that. It's like they don't know what they want, but I know what the husband wants, and I know the husband parents stay in Serangoon again. So I really plan my so-called business plan, my disclosure. I plan how to talk to them to bring them back to garden again. So again, this whole story takes 6 months. This case takes 6 months. And when I close this case again, this buyer, she was at Istanbul, which I managed to close from there also. So again, what I wanted to say is persistency and the duration. Don't give up, really don't give up. So this is the side I wanted to say. It is really not about how fast you can run that. You can very fast to close my case, but it is how far you can run. And when you are almost reaching the destination, and you suddenly want to give up, it's really such a waste. So don't give up. Will you really give up? So my question to you is, will you give up when you almost reaching the destination? It's just like running marathon. You will just continue to go and go, and you can run slow. And certain time you run slow, certain time you run, you increase your speed. But definitely there must be a destination that you have to be there. But just don't give up, And okay, this story of Amber Park 4-bedroom closing is with one of our NCT, which is from AAG, and our follow-up was about from the day she introduced this project to the buyer until closing is about 4 months. And interestingly, this China couple that they came, if I don't remember wrongly, never have a time that they come together. The 5 visitations to the show flat is husband come, then after that left for China. Then the wife come, then left again. Then the husband come, then the wife come. Then the husband left again. So the thing is that at the end of the day, finally, the wife came, and we even drive her all the way to the actual site to really see the surrounding. And the best part of this is that, again, whatever the buyer wants, we have to provide. So for us as a tagger, whatever the NCT wants, we have to give them, and the respond back to our NCT and ECB, it has to be fast and it has to be very accurate. Whatever they want, we have to give it to them. And this is about 4 months case. And like I said, when our presentation don't only at the show flat, we can even drive the customer to the site. This is what I normally like to do. I will want to bring them to the site to show them that this is the actual location that you will be staying. Yeah. So again, like I say that you see the past few cases, 4 months, 6 months, and 4 months. So this is what we talk about in sales. Persistency really pays off. Don't give up, because when you give up, persistency is really a refusal to quit. So once you give up, that's it. You have zero income, zero income. So, and it takes it's really like a marathon. It takes, like, even you see, you look at this, they put down that it takes an average of 18 calls to just to connect a buyer. So even I have closed another few cases, which I'm not sharing over here, with some NCT. The NCT take 1 year to bring the buyer to us to close the deal. So can you imagine now, if let's say on the 8 months or the 10 months he gave up, that's it, he won't get his commission. So again, on every cases that we are doing, we are following up. At this point of time, the buyer may not be keen, or NCT also tell you may not be keen. You still have to follow up with your NCT. You still have to follow up with your buyer. You can you can just send them any messages, or you can just send them hello messages. You can talk about any other thing, talk about anything from the sky to the ground. So like certain times after a few weeks or days, the NCT didn't call you. You send them a text again. Hey, so how I find, is everything okay on this? Just send them a simple text, or your client, yeah. So the story of this one Holland Village 2-bedroom closing. This is one of my best closing, I would say so, because it's a walk-in buyer, and I close it within the day. This buyer came in around 7:30 p.m. And then, as usual, I would do my show flat presentation, and after that, we sit down on the table and do tabletop closing. We talk everything, and then we push and we talk. And at the end of the day, same thing, I observe her body language, and we talk a lot. But this case, very interestingly, is when she finally chose the unit, and we were stuck on the 2 weeks, the 2 weeks of the paying out of the balance of the 15%. Yeah, that part, because it was towards to the end of the year, December, and she has to travel, and this 2 weeks does include the holiday, and we were having a very strong so-called bargaining thingy with the Far East developer, because this project is from Far East. Wow, the tension was really there, because you can see that my buyer was so tired, but we never give up. And this Far East people, I tell you, they really want to give up. Sometimes, sorry, I just have to tell you, sometimes I do not know whether is it they want to burst the deal or not, but I can see my buyer wants. It's only that they don't want to so-called let go. They don't want to outright on the extending of this 2 weeks to another 1 more week. So we fight all the way. We talk, fight until we got the office people to come out to talk to us. And we still don't want to let go. And by then, when I closed this whole deal, and finally they agreed to give us 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks because of the holiday season here and there. And finally, I managed to close them within the day. And guess what? By the time when I go back home, it's what time? I'll show you now. A done deal, 7:30. By the time finished, I sent them out of the gate. Out of the door. It's 2:30 a.m. I used 7.5 hours or to almost 8 hours to close them. Every one of us are tired. The project IC are tired. The 5 people are lucky tired. And the best part is the people who are vacuuming the floor, all these things, they were really very tired. But here again, because why I want to hold on, so-called bite onto this deal, is because the buyer signal is really there, and the buyers really want to buy. It's only the developer side, the staff there they do not want to, they do not want to they still want to follow by the book. But we just fight all the way because I said my buyer is really, why can't you do it? So we do a lot of adjustment here, and then at the end of the day, we managed to get the staff to come out and we talk, and we get this thing closed. Okay, then here now let's talk about the story of the reason last year, phrase 16, closing. So this is also our really, I really want to thank AAG agents for getting me to help them to do presentation. So this NCT is also from AAG as well, and we take about two days to close it because the buyer came, and then also very interesting thinking. And I think this one probably interestingly is that for those people who go out and give your flyers, sometimes it does help some of those people who don't give flyers, because this 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 NCT buyer actually received some flyers when they were out there having their lunch, I think lunch or dinner, and they received this flyer from an agent who is doing all this roadshow. And instead of calling this agent, they actually call this NCT. So quite sad, right? But anyway, so NCT came to me and asked me about this whole project itself. So same thing, I do a lot of presentation. And again, and the best part of this 2 unit is really the afternoon sun unit, but we still managed to close it. And the tension was because back then we honestly we did not manage to close any, and we really desperately need this deal to come in, and that's why we think of a lot of ways to close this unit, and even we give a lot of proposal to the developer staff. So the moral of the story, sometimes it may work, it may not work. So I'm not here to encourage you to do it, but the thing is that just give it a try. Whatever things that you think may not work, like maybe let's say for example pricing or whatsoever thing, but talk to the project IC first, because they may be able to do some magic and bring some good news to you, because we really do not know what is at the back of the mind of the developer. They could, maybe because just like this one, maybe could be because it's afternoon sun, or maybe because it's too big unit, they want to sell off this big unit first. That's why they do allow us to have some flexibility on the payment wise. But this whole cases is super this 2 days whole cases is super fast and super good. So thank you, NCT. So apparently when we talk about this part down here, the thing is that with all agents, we definitely have a period of time that we will be lost. Seriously, I mean, if you were to ask me, at times I also will be lost. But the thing is, if you are lost, do you want to give up? You don't, right? Because when you give up, that means you have nothing there. You lost me zero already. But if you have something, there's always a hope down there. As in, you see, Lester has given us so many things, the tools that we are doing, that the releasing of the new Instant Pro, and the past 2 days, today and yesterday, the Google Meet, the Zoom, this will be, moving forward, this will be the future. So even though, let's say, during this period of time, when this 2 days you are lost, you may want to approach your senior, your manager, your mentor, to ask them for help. If not, I think any one of us would be definitely willing to help you guys over here. And again, you also have to think out of the box, seriously, because don't always follow the rules. Rules is sometimes I feel that rules, certain times rules can be break. It depends on what sort of rules. So don't always follow the rules, because if what you do is always like that and it cannot work, right? You may want to think why it can't work. You may want to do something else besides that. And the thing is, if let's say you really lost a case, let's say now we talk about loss, you maybe this case you couldn't close, you lost it, but don't because of this you become sad. You may want to do a reflection, to think that, what have I done wrong? So in what way that I can improve to become better? What have I done wrong? If you can't figure out, right, you may want to find your mentor, your IC, to tell them, say, hey, today I couldn't close this case. I do not know what happened. Maybe can you tell me? So this is the thing. Then they could be able to give you some good suggestion or creative suggestion. For myself, that I always think a lot of creative thing because I don't like to be as normal as others. Yeah. So, like for example, here how to get more leads, you have to really think, hey, besides that, calling, besides that, okay, when I talk about how to get more leads, later I'll tell you more on this. Yeah. So free leads where to get, right? Okay. So these are some of the tips that I actually gotten some of my leads. Okay. So invest in yourself. Certain times invest in yourself. Besides that, of course, property guru, all the things that you're supposed to invest, please go ahead and invest. But there are also other things that you can actually get leads without paying a single cent. But of course, there are some that you have to pay. So let me show you some of them. Let it finish, then I will start to talk about this again. Okay, now you take a look at this. Join social groups such as BNI. How do I get to know BNI? That was many years ago, few years ago when Ku or Edwin that they start to talk to us, share with us about this BNI, and then Ivy was talking to me about all this BNI, and only then I know about there's this thing called BNI, Business Network Group. So what does this Business Network Group do? They actually get all the businessmen to come together. So these people, and every time you will have to present your things to them. And these people, they are actually literally your salesperson. So this one, you all can go and check it out. I don't want to talk too much, but of course, this one, there's a joining fee. And best part of this is that, like, okay, I just talked a little bit again. And recently I connected with BNI Hong Kong people, and I gotten a few leads from there, as in I'm working with them. So can you see how powerful it is now? So this BMI, I invest a little bit of their joining fee, and I get my leads from Hong Kong, I get my leads from China as well. So this is what I talk about, investing yourself. Then non-profitable organization, like let's say for example, Lions Club. So Lions Club, I was also once their members. We get to, this Lions Club those businessmen they have sometimes free time, they like to do all those charity thinking. And some of them, they are filthy rich men that you can reach out to them and talk to them. I have one which is the brother is owner of, in Singapore, owner of about 49 coffee shops in hand. Yeah. So this is some of the businessmen that you get to know them. If not, how do you go to know them? So activity groups, like for me, I like to play badminton, I play golf, I go bowling, and then why and then these are the things, these are the places that you can get to know more people and get your leads from there. And RC Center. Okay, RC is not the recreation club. It's about, our, let's say you stay HDB, beside the community center, they have this RC, correct? So this RC is where you serve your neighborhood people. And this RC, not only HDB people join only, even the condo people, you also can join. Because it's one cluster by one cluster. You join because when you join that time, you get to know more people. When you get to know more people, you get your HDB leads already. You even can get your condo leads, and you can get everything over there. So this is free, yeah. And of course, country club, I don't want to talk more. So country club is that you can go and join and get to know more people. So these are the places, some of the places that you can think of to get free leads. Firstly, of course, you don't just because you know them, you talk about it straight away, you talk about property. The thing is that you will have to do like what we always say, the more you give, the more you will get. So you give first, you give your time. If you don't have money to invest, right, give your time. You give your time, then your rewards will come. Okay. So all right. So we have learned earlier on that my sharing on this. So now it's your time to really this is something that I want to talk about, case study. Let's say from here. Okay, this I case study. I do not know this part down here. Lester, this part down here, we will not let them do any case study, right? Okay, no problem. So what I do is that, okay, when you all have seen these 2 days, right? You have seen this 2 day, which is you learn about Zoom presentation. So now we are really into this era of Zoom presentation. So for example, right now, maybe I share with you how I do this case. This is Van Hollen. I talk about this Van Hollen thing. So I told them that it's freehold. I told them about all this thing. And the buyer is from China, and buying like, let's say 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom for investment. So as a tagger, as a NCT or call team, as long as you're agent, you do a presentation to them. What sort of tools will you use? So this is quite the same as what Lester had presented, that means had shown you all today, and yesterday and today, which is what I will normally do is that, of course, I show them this. Okay, I will narrow down. You see, over down here, I will narrow down that this is a 3-bedroom and 2-bedroom. So I started to tell them the surrounding environment. I will tell them this is near to the Holland Village MRT station with linkway, sheltered linkway to MRT station. So these are the things I will show them, the landscaping, all this first. Then can you see? Okay, I want you to show you is that this unit down here, which is this unit. When you walk up from here, this is a pool, and on top there's also another lap pool. All right. So how I do my presentation is that I use a few of these gadgets, these tools, which is like a Singapore Street Directory, One Map, Google Earth, Google Earth that you have attended today. You all know that this is what Lester also suggested. Instant Street View, URA Master Plan, and also use apps. Okay, when I talk about use apps to do superimpose, means, for example, because your customer cannot go to the actual site and they want to know how near, how far it is, right? So what I do is that I will cut out I will go to so-called the street directory. Then, okay, I will go to this Google Earth first, and street directory. I will screenshot the empty land first. Then after that, I will go to this street directory to so-called our landscaping, our floor plan. I will cut and paste, and I superimpose on this map itself, so that even the direction they want to see, like, okay, my master bedroom face where, my kitchen face where, all this thing, I superimpose on, I adjust accordingly, because our Google Earth, our instant street view, it really show clearly, as what Lester today mentioned, that the place is really there. So you can superimpose your floor plan there. So when you superimpose your floor plan there, you can show them that this is where the angle, which angle of your room is facing, your hall is facing. So this is literally that they are there already. So these are the few tools that I will use when I do my Zoom presentation or my Google Meet. Yeah. Okay. So I think this one we will skip, because anyway, at this moment of time, we still cannot conduct any face-to-face presentations. So probably this one we will share next time.
Yep, I think we can leave that to when we can go to the show floor. I think that one we will invite Priscilla back again, because she has actually prepared a lot of very good stuff, where to sit, how to face the customer, how to read the body language in the show flat, right? Actually, she showed me all the slides, very good stuff, but just that right now, that's not the time yet. Okay?
Right.
So,
yeah.
Priscilla?
Okay. So, last but not least, same thing. Every one of us at certain point of time, we really will get tired, because even though, like, for us, we always Zoom, we will get tired, but doesn't mean that you're tired, you will give up. So don't give up, because just keep going after it. And at the end of the day, or you got no sales, don't give up. Just keep going. Don't give up. You will get it at the end of the day. Yeah. So your rewards will come. All right. So that's the end of my presentation. And I hope you guys will receive something from there. Thank you very much.
Good job, Priscilla. Okay, Priscilla. I think that tonight all of us have a good understanding of the art of follow-up. And you notice how calmly she talked to the customer and how calmly she deliver her way, because it makes people feel that she's not pushy. A lot of the salesmen and saleswomen fail because you show your eagerness to close too early, right? Just like, remember those days when you are in a courtship, right? There are people who really want to keep pushing you to get married, you get scared. You know what I mean? You want people to shower you with love first, drag on a bit more, try to find common interest. How do you select your boyfriend or your husband? You don't select just because they come and pester you. You select because you found that this particular person is very sincere and really care about your needs and really try to find common interest with you and then talk to you, right? This is exactly what Priscilla is driving at, and she's very good in the sense that she actually show you all the message exchange you have with the customer. How often you get to see a private phone messages of a producer, right? Most people won't show you. That's why we are quite fortunate that she's willing to show us, and she even show you the timeline of things, how it happened. So I hope you guys really have good takeaway from it. I can tell you. So what I really learned from tonight from her is the statement that I like a lot that she mentioned earlier is it is not how fast you can run, it is how far you can run, right? So like I said, it's not about sprinter, it's about marathon in this market, right? Stay on with the customer. This is more important, right? This is the reason why she is a producer. Sometimes it can take long. She really show you. Sometimes the deal can take 6 months. Sometimes you're lucky the deal can only take 1 day, less than 1 day, right? So either way, it's all about relationship building. And she already shared with you where to find new relationship, new customer, meet new people. And you meet new people, you don't, and I like the way she just now mentioned that you toggle between talk about property and talk about interest. Property, interest. The way you all have done, many of you, because I see send you all the information. Then you all like how, macam like you lao sai the information to the customer, no? You're just lao sai to the customer, no? Then the customer get, wow, the whole thing load from you. No, be like her. I think what we learn from her is sometimes send property, sometimes send common interest, try to find common interest and win the heart so that even the customer go to other place, want to think of closing, also come back to you. So this is a very important session if you really catch the gist. The gist is about forming relationship by finding a common interest with this particular customer. Find time and really want to get to know this person. Just like you try to 追女孩子, 追男孩子, right? When you try to go in the courtship, you want to find out more about that person first and then try to find a common interest. This is the way to have a more lasting relationship. And for your information, I have a 10 over, in fact, 15 over years district judge that has been serving, that I served very well. In fact, my last year top position, he contributed quite a lot because of the deal that he do with me. And just now, I just got a call from him. He told me that he got one friend want to buy, right? Budget, how much, and all that. He said he highly recommend me. Why? Because he find that I am one agent that is not pushy, that I really care about their interests. And that's exactly what Priscilla is sharing with you here. So great, Priscilla, great sharing. Any last tip for them?
Like I say that you have to be very sincere, very creative. So when you send message, and any message that you send it out or any words that you want to say, it is always good to go through the process of your mind first, because it can really bring you very good closing success. Yeah. So every sentence that you send out, you have to be lead to another thing.
Yeah, just now I hear you say something about you actually plan your closing with them. Can you tell us more about that part? Like when you say plan, what do you really plan in closing them?
I will plan, because before I send message, right, I will plan that what I want to write to them first. Then from there, and I will think, what would they answer me? And I will get another message already at the back of it. Yeah. So even though, let's say, for example, I quote another one, a very quick one, like the recent property tax rebate agreement. So what I do is that I send to some of my industrial office commercial building. I send to all the landlord contact that I have. Some of them I didn't even close them. But at the end of the day, funny thing is that after I send, right, then some of them one of them they call me and say that are you the one who served me? I say no, I'm not. I just want to send you some information. And from there we get connected, and then she gave me a property to do. Then another one also gave me a property to do. And after that, right, then when the second tax rebate thingy come they started to text me. Then they started to say, hey, so what do you think about this? What is your explanation about this? Everybody come and ask me, I become their advisor. So this is how I manage my customer.
Well done. That's why
Yeah.
the agent say you must have a lot of boyfriends, you know, the way you build relationship. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
I didn't see the messages.
Anybody got any question for Priscilla? So it's going to be late already. So we just take one question. Just any question, one question, type into the chat group. All right, in the chat, let's have one question for Priscilla. Just one question if you have. I already asked my question. All right. Anybody got question? Feel free, just type there. Okay, you can don't ask her how many boyfriends she have. So good, no question, yeah. See, Dan Ho also say the same thing.
I can't see. I must see. Oh,
Seriously,
James, I saw already.
no, really, sales is all about courtship. To be frank with you, many of you are already got married, so your killer instinct and courtship instinct inside you are turned off already. You know? But in sales, you need to turn back on about courtship, how to court this customer, right? So think of that. How do you court that customer? Then your relationship building nature will come up, right? Just like when we do recruitment for an agent, right? How we do recruitment is the same thing, right? Great, right? Looks like we don't have a lot of questions. That's good. I think we have learned quite a fair bit from her, how she do it, right? It's good to see her from how she do it in this manner, which is not salesy, but yet is really sincerity and relationship building. And whatever customer you don't close now, but because you give so much value to them and relationship building with them, who knows? After the phase one is over, when they can go viewing, the first person they will call is you. So take this phase one period, apply what you learn from Priscilla. It's all about reconnecting with your customer, do relationship. So that phase one open, go viewing, you call them, hey, go gai gai, kwa hi mai. Oh, this girl will want to go out with you. You remember how you caught a girl, right? You text her, chit chat first. This is how I caught my wife, by the way. I draw cartoon for her. I send her some messages. Then one fine day, I say, hey, you want to go gai gai or not? And then she say yes. Because why? I spend time with her, getting to know her first before I ask her out, right? So same thing. Now, phase one, nobody can go out viewing, never mind. Form relationship, follow up with your customer. When phase one come, you invite them. It's very hard for them to say no already. All right, great. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, good night, everybody. Thanks, Priscilla. Let me just right. Okay.
关了哈。
Yep. Okay. Bye bye. Good night.